Hey everybody, it's Jill, Fiber Floozie Crafts, and we are going to finally we're going to do 2 squares this time because we're going to get out of the first 4 are pretty simple. We had single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet. Today we're going to do a treble crochet, and then we're also going to do the 5th square to give you something a little bit more interesting, which is the front and back loop half double crochet. All right, so first one I'm going to start with is this Premier Basic in the color Juniper, and we're going to do the treble crochet. Okay, so in order to do our square here, this is a triple or treble crochet square, and in order to make it work to where we have a 7-inch by 7-inch square, we're going to have to work this one a little differently, and that means we're not going to chain as many, because every time that I work this square it comes out too wide using the same stitch counts that we were using before. So let's go ahead and we're going to chain 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and do not do this loosely. Just do it as it comes off the hook. Twenty, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Now we're going to yarn over twice. Okay, because we want these 3 on the hook because it's a treble crochet. So we're going to start there, and then we're going to go into the second chain here, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, now we're going to do this again. Yarn over twice, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 2, and 2. And the reason that we have to do this with less stitches is because if we don't, when we come, this one just grows. It's a large, taller stitch, and it grows sideways as well, because see, it's just not a real close stitch. So it just tends to grow, and it just kept getting too big when I was doing this. So when you get to the other end, you should, let's see, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'm going to have 24. Usually we have 25, but that just made it too big. So I will see you on the other end. 2, 2, 2, yarn over twice, into the stitch, pull up a loop, 2, 2, 2. Do that all the way across. Okay, so now I'm down here at the last 2. This one here is our knot. That's our knot. Oops. treble. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And I know I said, I'm just going to put a chain there to link it. I know I said 23 or 24, but it should be 23. Let's check. Yes. See how that's growing up here? That's our 7 inches. So it's 23 treble crochets will be our 7 inches. That doesn't look it here, but don't worry about that because see, it's going to stretch out. Now you can count them up here. See our V's going across? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We have 23. Yes, 23. That's why I said 23 and not 24. So it's 23. Now you're going to chain 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. Chain. You're going to chain 4. So chain 4 and turn. And that makes our first treble and not here. We're not going to go into this stitch here next to it. This is our first treble right here. So we're going to yarn over, and we're going to come over and go into this one right there. Because that's above that one. 1, 2, 3. Now this looks a little loose, but it's going to pull over into the rest. Okay? So do this all the way across. Just going into both strands. Yarn over twice. I'm going to go into both strands of that. Pull it through. 2, 2, and 2. So I got both of them. Oop. Okay, I'll meet you on the other end. Okay, we're coming up to the end here. Oh, how did I get tangled? There we go. And I've got 2 more stitches to go. See that V there and that V there. Now let's count and make sure that we have what we need. And we're going to count this first string here of chains as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Okay, now do your chain 4 and turn. And now when you go back, you're going to come into right into here at the top of this chain for your last stitch. And you'll do that every time you turn and you hit that chain. Go into the top of the chain. Okay. So we turn to do that one, we turn to do that one, which means this right here where our tail is, this is our front. Okay, now I've got that marked. A little knot. Okay, carry on until you have your 7 inches, and I'll be back to tell you how many rows that was for me. Okay, so here is our finished square. Well, not finished, but we're ready for our border. And I wound up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. And remember to do our border. Now, when I finished that end of that row, I just did a chain 1. Now I'm going to go in right here and do 3 single crochets. Okay, now we're going to go across the top. Now we're supposed to have 25 stitches here. Oops. What the heck? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So we actually need to make up 3 stitches. So here's how I do that. Because you always want to have your 3 in the corner and your 25 on each side to have 112 stitches around. So I'm going to go ahead and go here. That's 1. I'll do the second one in there. That's 2. Now we'll go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th one, I'll do a second one. That's 13, 14, 15, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. No, it's 20. 21, 22, 23. The second one there, 24. We'll do 25. Now we need 3 in here somewhere, so we'll do right there. We really want to go over 2 of them if we can. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to turn and we're going to do 25 here. So you want 112 all the way around, and I'll meet you back. So I wanted to give you a few hints on this side here. So I'm at 13 right now. And in order to get your 25, and don't worry about these holes because honestly, we're going to have a lot of different kinds of squares and some of them are going to have holes in them. I know the ones we did at first were a little more compact fabric, but that's not to worry. This is just how this comes out. So I'm at 13, so if I go and try to count it out, 13, that'd be 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. See what I'm saying? Just kind of count it out to yourself and then you'll know how many stitches that you're going to put in. So, okay, now we're going to do square number 5. I'm going to use my Premier Basic, and this is the color Nutmeg. And we are going to do the front and back loop half double crochet. This is a multiple of 2 plus a chain 1. And with our color, we are going to chain 27. And this one says loosely. And I would say on this one, you would do loosely because it's a half double. So on the ones that are a shorter stitch, you can do your loose. But the taller stitches, I would suggest doing a tighter stitch. (21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. Now we are going to yarn over and we're going to half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. So that'd be 1, 2, and 3. Which means we go in, pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook. We yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through all 3. This is also the instructions for starting this. You could get your first row from square 2 in the series. That's where we covered the half double. Pulling out some yarn. Does anybody else do it this way? It keeps them from getting tangled for me. Okay, I'll meet you at the other end. Okay, now that we have our 25 stitches, we are going to mark the front of this. Okay, got to mark this as the front side. Well, remember this time. Okay, you are going to chain 2 and turn. Now we're going to alternate between a half double back loop and a half double front loop. All right, so you're going to yarn over, and now not to this one, because that lines up with that end one. It's going to be this one right here. And you're going to go into the back loop only of the first double crochet. So back loops, and go right into the stitch in between them, between those two legs, and do a half double. Okay, that's our first one. Now you're going to half double in the front loop. So we're going to go in, instead of going that way, we're going to pull up this one. So we don't want to go from the center, because that's going to twist that stitch up. See? Twist it up. So to do the front loop, you have to come in from the front. So kind of tuck that yarn back behind. Come in from the front and pull up the loop and do your half double. See how that one sits back and this one sits forward. Let's do it again. Yarn over. Now we're going to go back to the back loop. So into the center. Pull up a loop, pull through all three. That was the back. Now we're going to do the front. So we come up here, pick up that front strand, pull our loop up, and that's our front loop. Do a couple more of these. Now back. And now front. Now back. And now front. And it's going to offset them every other. Okay, let's do that to the other end and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, we've gotten to our last two stitches right here, and now we're going to be a back and a front for the last two stitches. So back and a front. Okay, now you're going to chain two and turn. And this is what our first one looks like. You can see those kind of popping forward now. Now if you're doing this in as a real scrap project, this would be cool. When we start to get into these textured, to me, playing around with the colors is going to be cool. All right, now in order to go on, so we're going to repeat back loop, front loop. Okay, so we're not going to alternate this row. We're going to keep to the pattern. We're alternating front row, back row. Well, it's back row, front row, back row, front row. But we're keeping to the pattern. So if it's a back row, back loop, back loop, do back loop. If it's a front loop, do front loop. But when you turn, look to see what that first stitch is and you'll know what you're going to do. and count your stitches. Make sure that you're starting in the right one. So like here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 22, 23, 24, 25 is there. So I know I'm going into this first visible V right there. You might get confused and come over, and then you'll be missing a stitch. Okay, so the first one is a back loop. And then front loop. Sometimes I kind of pull it to give it a little space. It's a lot of fun once you start doing the textured ones because you start seeing the pattern come to life, and it's fun to see them. So the next ones are going to be that we're going to start to see the lines. See. Okay, keep going, guys. Make your 7-inch square. Be sure you check your gauge that you're getting 7 inches this way, as close as you can, even after a couple of rows. And it's worth it at the end of the blanket when we put them all together. We want these blocks to all be as close as we can in size. So 7 inches is before we put our border on. Okay, everyone, now we have our squares. So here is square number 4. This is our treble crochets with our border all around. I've weaved in my ends and I have it marked. And here is our square number 5, our half doubles. And this is how this one comes out. You can see a sort of a pattern with a line going here. And you can also, if you kind of to the edge, you'll see the pattern of the front posts and back posts. I really like the texture of this one a lot. This is a texture I may use in something else, which is wonderful about doing this because you will find things that you really like the texture of and you want to repeat on another project. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed doing this, and if you have any questions about these squares, be sure and email me at fiberflooziecrafts@gmail.com. Leave me a comment down below. Please hit that like button and have a great day and have fun today. See y'all.